Hey guys and gals, how is everybody doing this morning? Have I got a deal for you? Actually, Lucky Strike has got a deal for you. An amazing sale, almost a BOGO sale. Not quite, but almost a BOGO sale. But it's a great deal on what? None other than Redman spinnerbait. That's right, Redman spinnerbaits. They're difficult to find anywhere around the country because we've been simply out of them, but they've been working real hard over at Lucky Strike, and they've caught up on production. And got all the orders shipped out. And we want to do a special sale just for the Jimmy Houston Outdoors fans, both social media fans and television fans. They're going to give a 40%, that's right, 40% sale on Redman spinnerbaits, 40%. Now, we've had a video running for a couple of days and had tremendous response on it. A video running explaining this sale, but we've got all the Redman spinnerbaits we have in stock. And we got a lot of great colors. There's a crawfish color with a copper blade. That's right, you don't see spinnerbaits with a copper blade much anymore. Blue and chartreuse. The colors that are in shad, blue and chartreuse. This is one of the best colors there are. This has got a nickel blade on it. Here's a black and chartreuse, and a purple. You hardly ever see a purple spinnerbait anymore. But let me explain just a little bit about these spinnerbaits, and let me lay this down over here. I'd throw them down on the ground, but Benelli's sitting right here beside me, and she might decide to take one off and get it out of the back and get hooked. And these do not have the barbs smashed down on them. These have barbs on them, right? But let me tell you just a little bit about the Redman spinnerbait. The sale is 40% off, and it'll only be for a limited period of time. They didn't tell me exactly how much time. Jeff Williams, our operational manager over there. You know, my buddy Toby Keith bought this company back in late March. They've been buying new machinery, been making baits and getting things ready to go and fulfilling all the orders, and we just finally have got pretty much all the orders filled out in the field. So they just wanted to reward our fans, especially, with a special deal, 40% off. And this spinnerbait, I think, retails for $6.95 or $6.99. So it puts it at a little bit over $4, like $4.19, which is almost half price. 40% off. That's right, 40% off. So it's a tremendous buy. And let me tell you a little bit about this spinnerbait. This is a retro spinnerbait. It's totally different than any spinnerbait on the market. There's nothing out there like it. Absolutely nothing out there like it. And this is a spinnerbait that I won 2 BASS Angler of the Years on. Some of them back before most of y'all were born, 1976 and 1986. I know some of y'all saying both of those were before I was born, Jimmy. But Jamie's my son. I don't mind being called Jamie. That'd be flattering. But anyway, these are totally different than anybody else's spinnerbait. Let me just run through a few things right here. We start back here with the hook. This is an elongated hook. You see how long this hook is? Now, the hook is up here in the head. That hook is that long. An elongated hook, that allows you to get to short strikes. A lot of fish that come up and hit a spinnerbait and you don't catch them, this longer hook will catch a lot of those fish. So you're going to miss less fish on a Redman spinnerbait. Let's go right up here to the skirt. This is a living rubber skirt. It's not silicone. Now, you'll notice the colors aren't nearly as bright. This is a black and chartreuse. Colors aren't nearly as bright, black and yellow, bluegill color, black and yellow. But we have a black and chartreuse color also, by the way. But the living rubber's got tremendous action on them. They're tapered tails. They got tapered tails. So when they come through the water, they just go like this. I mean, way more action than silicone. They're not nearly as bright. These are wrap skirts. They don't have that little rubber band holding them together. They're wrap skirts. And actually, the skirt will be what will wear out on your spinnerbait. These spinnerbaits will, I'm not going to say they won't break, but they almost won't break. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. But the skirt, this has got the most action you'll ever see on a spinnerbait. You'll pull a silicone skirt through the water on a spinnerbait, and you'll look at it and say, oh my gosh, why in the world they hit it? The difference in this is amazing, amazing. We got our little Redman head with the little bug eyes on it. We may change those to some eyes. It's got a little bit more halogen eyes or something. It's got a little bit more flash to them. But this is the original Redman moe. This is the original Redman moe. The bait's been off the market for years and years. I've been wanting to bring it back because it's such a dynamic spinnerbait. It whacks them when other spinnerbaits won't. Here is one of the other big differences on a spinnerbait. It's got the wrap bend. You see that bend in it? That is a wrap bend. That's not an R bend or a U bend. And that's what breaks on spinnerbaits. Your spinnerbaits break right here because you get a fish on, and this straightens up or whatever, and it just moves around back and forth. That becomes very weak. And sometimes, if you got a spinnerbait that really vibrates good, that means it's got really light wire on it. That spinnerbait will break sometimes after only 10 or 15 fish. When I was fishing tournaments, I would change about 11 o'clock every day, 11 or 12 o'clock. If I was throwing a spinnerbait a lot, I'd put a brand new spinnerbait on about 11 or 12 o'clock, and I'd use that as a practice spinnerbait or a fun spinnerbait because I knew it was going to break, sometimes after only 15 or 20 fish. But when you think about it, even though you might give $7 or $8 or $9 or $10 for a spinnerbait and it catches 10 or 15 or 20 fish before it breaks, That's still way more fish than you generally get out of a package of worms, which cost $7 or $8 or $9 or $10. So really, you think about them breaking, it's really not all that bad a deal. But you can catch 100, 200 fish on this, and it's not going to break. I've done it. I've got some, and I can show you that all the paint's gone. It's just lead. And it's even a little loose in there, so it's got a little rattle to it, which is good. I like that. But the blade's still working. It hadn't broke. I may have put 2 or 3 new skirts on it, but it doesn't break. This wrap bend. Now, the other thing that we've done on this is a short arm spinnerbait. You see where this arm is? This arm is up here, comes right down to the center, or right on the center, or right on the head of this bait. And what that means is as this comes through the water, that arm is going to vibrate back and forth this way. You will see it. If you'll just pull it by your boat, you'll see this arm going back and forth like that, going back and forth just like that right there. That creates a tremendous amount of vibration, a totally different sound that the fish don't hear. Totally different sound. We've got a barrel swivel, a crane barrel swivel, and some of you might be saying, Jimmy, well, what's a cheap swivel? I like ball bearing swivels. This blade has to work harder to turn a crane swivel. Now, crane swivel turns okay, but the blade's got to work hard. You can't just hit that and that thing will spin. It'll only spin 2 or 3 times and it'll stop because that crane swivel. Yeah, the crane swivel's cheaper. It's probably saving you $1 per bait by having that on there. And that's probably, in all honesty, the reason I built that bait. The reason I built that bait with a barrel swivel. I probably just couldn't afford the ball bearing swivels when I first built them. I might not have been able, they might not even have been making them back then. I think they were, but I probably just couldn't afford them. But it turned out, that blade has to work harder, which makes that vibrate more. In all reality, if you like vibration, which I do, I think it's one of the most important things on the spinnerbait. All spinnerbaits probably ought to have barrel swivels or crane swivels as opposed to ball bearing. Really, I mean, and pretty much none of them do nowadays. I've even heard buyers say, I wouldn't even buy a spinnerbait without a ball bearing swivel on it. But that buyer doesn't really know all about spinnerbaits like they really need to know. So this creates more vibration. That crane swivel, or barrel swivel, whatever you want to call it, creates more vibration. An oversized split ring, a little bit larger split ring you see on most, and a round blade. Now, if I was fishing tournaments, I'd move up to the next size blade. But this blade, you can pull the bait fast through the water, and the bait still runs perfectly straight. It doesn't run straight. It doesn't bend lay on the side or roll over like that, even if you pull it fast. So it's really a perfect situation. The bait is absolutely a great bait. Now, if I fish in tournaments still, I'd still be putting a trailer hook on them since I'm not fishing tournaments. But the elongated hook pretty much eliminates the need for a trailer hook. Not totally, but it pretty much eliminates it. So that's going to get you a lot of the strikes you miss on a regular, normal spinnerbait. The Redman spinnerbait, like I said, retails for either $6.95 or $6.99. I'm not sure. 40% off. Here's your code. Redman, REDMAN, Redman 40. And that's all capital letters, just like our Facebook, Jimmy Houston Outdoors, all capital letters. Redman, REDMAN, Redman 40. And here's how you get that. You go to luckystrike.com. That's LUCKE, not LUCKY. LUCKE, Lucky Strike, STRIKE, luckystrike.com. Put that promo code in there, and you're going to get a 40% discount. As long as this sales lasts, it'll only last for a short period of time. They've been getting lots of orders in. All of the Redman, we got that's on all the Redman baits that we have in inventory. I don't know what all colors they have, and they may probably be running out of colors. The copper blade comes on the crawfish color, and I laid those down over there, didn't I? But anyway, that's an absolutely outstanding buy. It comes down to like $4.19, $4.20, something like that. 40% off on Redman spinnerbait as long as this sales lasts. If you haven't tried this bait, and I know we had some comments and somebody said they use a Kevin Van Dam spinnerbait, and Kevin Bill designed a great spinnerbait. There's no doubt about it. Totally different than this spinnerbait. You are missing out on catching some fish if you don't try a Redman spinnerbait. This sale right now will let you do it at the best prices you will ever see. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking probably this spinnerbait is just like all the other spinnerbaits that have gone up in price. This one hasn't. It probably will. This inflation thing is killing everybody. High prices on everything. High prices on fuel, shipping, everything. So the price is hanging in there at that $6.95, $6.99, whatever it is. But that probably will be going up at 40% off. This is just for all of the Jimmy Houston Outdoor fans. Go to Lucky Strike, LUCKE, STRIKE, Strike, Lucky Strike with an E, not a Y, .com. Enter the promo code REDMAN40, get a 40% discount. I don't even think they put a limit on how many you can buy. Isn't that crazy? Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one. And remember, I sure do love you.